Picture this. You have a 9.9 GPA, admission to a top-tier university, and $80,000 in the bank. You step up to the consulate window, and 90 seconds later, you're handed a rejection slip. It is natural to assume that academic excellence and a high bank balance guarantee approval, but those credentials often fail to address the actual hurdle at that window, Section 214B of the Immigration and Nationality Act. By law, the consular officer must assume you plan to move to the United States permanently. They are required to view your student application as a potential immigration request. The burden is entirely on you to prove that assumption wrong, and you usually have less than 2 minutes to do it. This split scorecard shows the problem. Applicants focus on the left side, the minimums like the I-20 and passport, but the officer grades the right side, an unwritten test of intent. To pass, you must satisfy 3 pillars: logical narrative, traceable funding, and a concrete reason to return home. Success at the F-1 interview requires proving a specific, professional reason to leave the U.S. the moment you graduate. It is an exit interview disguised as an entrance interview. The evaluation starts with a direct question. Why are you planning to attend this specific university? Many applicants recite marketing material. They talk about a flexible curriculum, state-of-the-art facilities, or high national rankings. Those answers sound rehearsed because they are. When an officer hears a generic brochure pitch, they often conclude you haven't researched the program seriously, which leads to an immediate denial. A successful answer names specific professors, targets niche research labs, and connects that exact coursework to a career goal waiting for you back home. This table shows the difference. The generic approach relies on rankings and gets rejected. The strategic approach relies on precise academic alignment and is approved. Reaching that strategic column requires work. You must map out how specific faculty expertise serves your target job upon return. Granular details about your academic path show the officer you are making a calculated investment in your home country career. Once your academic intent is established, the officer evaluates your financial capacity. They need to verify you can cover tuition and living expenses without resorting to unauthorized employment. A frequent mistake is depositing a massive lump sum of cash into a brand new bank account just weeks before the interview. That sudden spike in funds immediately flags your application. The officer will assume the money is a temporary loan borrowed specifically to pass the interview. To prove your funding is real, you need 12 to 24 months of bank statements that match your sponsor's tax returns and show a history of savings. Looking at our financial comparison table, the generic approach of last-minute deposits fails. The strategic approach builds credibility through long-term consistency. This means planning a year in advance and providing detailed chronological records of your family's income history. Successful financial evidence tells a verifiable story of wealth accumulation. Meeting the exact minimum balance on your I-20 is never as convincing as showing how those funds grew over time. The final, and usually most difficult, pillar is proving you have compelling ties to your home country. Many applicants rely on passive connections. They mention their family lives there, or they provide a deed to a residential property. Property can be sold remotely, and family can be visited. Passive assets do not legally or practically compel you to board a plane back home. A compelling tie is active. It looks like a formal letter from an employer guaranteeing a specific promotion upon your return, or documentation of an industry boom in your region that requires your specific degree. In our Home Ties Matrix, the generic approach leans on sentiment and property, leading to refusal. The strategic approach leverages concrete professional opportunities. Building these ties means networking and securing formal commitments from local organizations before you leave. Even if you have a tourist visa and a history of returning on time, officers know that visiting for a month is very different from studying for years. Past compliance does not waive the student visa requirements. An officer measures your intent by the professional obligations pulling you back, rather than the assets you leave behind. Every successful application relies on a total alignment of facts. The information on your DS-160, your bank statements, and your verbal answers must form a single, consistent narrative. Let's apply this to a first-timer, someone applying straight out of an undergraduate program. Consular officers do not expect a 21-year-old to own a house or have a decade of career history. Instead, they look for future-oriented ties. They need to see this degree is the required key to a specific, high-value trajectory in your home country that you have already started building through your undergrad. By proving that your specific U.S. program is the only way to qualify for a lucrative niche in your local economy, you replace the need for current assets with a verifiable future obligation. If you are a career pivoter, someone changing professional fields, you face a different challenge. You must explicitly connect your past degree to your new program, explaining the exact intersection where old skills and new education meet to serve a specific job role back home. Providing this direct link helps remove the suspicion that the degree is just a random choice used to enter the U.S. labor market. Finally, there is the reapplicant, someone who has already faced a 214B denial. A previous denial stays on your record. To succeed on the next attempt, you must generate significantly new evidence, such as an extended bank history or a completely new post-graduation job offer. Booking a new appointment 2 weeks later with the exact same paperwork is a reliable way to get the exact same refusal. Securing your F-1 visa requires abandoning generic scripts. You have to put in the work to build a logically airtight, hyper-specific narrative.